With everything that's happening in Nigeria at the moment, from pre-election violence to the naira swap crisis, along with the internal party divisions that come with it, it sounds like the ruling APC is lined with tension, with its members wondering whether they can hold out with strength in their corner until the elections arrive. Such is the marked division between the presidency and state governors, whose contemptuous superciliousness seems to be in bad odor ahead of the elections, that the party is, if not defeated, certainly sounds like it's cornered. It's starting to make their campaigns look cold, antiseptic, and without heart, as one critic put it. So with all that, and with death threats against some of their candidates, can they stake their place in the canon of the great election race? Joined now by Tonye Cole, the APC governorship candidate, who will bring us up to date with what is happening there. Great to see you, Tonye. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Always good, Charles. Nice to see you again.
I was just telling you that I was going to ask you how's it going, but you look like you haven't got a hair out of place. So perhaps that's a question I shouldn't ask.
No, it's important you ask. But two things are happening as far as I'm concerned. The first aspect of it is that we have to face this head on. And at the same time, it's so serious that we must allow ourselves to also have fun while we're doing this. Because we cannot allow the stress to get us down. There's so many people who are looking forward to facing down what you would call a schoolyard bully. And this time around, we have to face, the same way we face bullies in secondary school, we need to face bullies this time around in the political scene.
It's a bit of a challenge, though, isn't it? Because, I mean, there have been threats to your life. You were warned not to attend your rally, the APC's rally, on Tuesday, but you defied that. And I understand that today you received another threat.
Yes. So on Tuesday, I was told that they were going to assassinate me, well, that there would be an attempt at my life. And so security details advised me to wear bulletproof vest if I was going to go or not go at all. And I said neither would work. So I will go and nothing would happen. And thankfully, nothing happened. But it was a serious threat for them to come with that. Today, I received a phone call from someone in Port Harcourt saying that we have a rally tomorrow in Obiapo, which happens to be the governor's local government. And again, this time around, they said they've put plans in place and that there's going to be an attack on us in Obiapo and that the target is me. Now, what is this telling you? If people are not worried, if a government has done very well, you do not need violence for you to win an election. You just go out and people will troop and vote for you. For this government to be so afraid of holding free and fair elections, then it tells you a lot. To now,
you mean the state government?
Yes, for the state government.
And that's a PDP government.
It is a PDP government. And now let's do a deduction by elimination. And that's the best way, because they will say, how do you know it's PDP? And I'll give you three instances. First, for those who are actively campaigning, the APC is actively campaigning. We've been attacked 4 times. 4 times. A bomb was, a device was thrown in Falga. We were attacked in Opobo with guns, stones, bullets, and all sorts of things. That was an ambush, a serious ambush. We've been attacked in Omuma, and we've been attacked in Eche. So in each of these places, we've had attacks from direct PDP local government chairmen and their supporters. Accord Party with Dumululu Briggs has been attacked. SDP with Magnus Abe has been attacked. And these are all parties that are campaigning actively, each one. PDP's faction with Abiy Sekibo, he was shot at. His whole entire car was shot. In Opobo, Dakuku's bulletproof car was shot at directly. So we're having major parties who are campaigning being attacked. The only party that has not suffered one single attack is PDP, and we know why. Now, for all of us, we've made a decision that we're not going to retaliate, not because we don't have the capacity to retaliate, but we understand Rivers politics well enough to know that all of this provocation is to see if we can get an attack, if we can retaliate, and the minute we retaliate, That's the end.
But is it entirely fair to say that the PDP hasn't been attacked? Because, I mean, Atiku Abubakar just a few days ago cancelled his trip to Rivers State because of attacks.
Attacked by who? So there are two factions of PDP right now. Those who are being attacked in PDP are the faction of the PDP that is supporting Atiku. As far as Governor Wike and the PDP in Rivers State is concerned, they are totally divorced from Atiku. And even right now, they're romancing, I don't know, APC, whoever they are. And so you have a faction of the PDP that is being attacked for wanting to support Atiku against what the PDP in Rivers State is doing. But this is not going to work. You know, the fact, Charles, is that we have determined that we're not going to be bullied, we're not going to be cowed, we're not going to be intimidated, and we're going to face this head on. People are tired.
But it's interesting that you say that on the national level, it looks like the faction that is with the governor, Nyesom Wike, is sort of making overtures towards your presidential candidate, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, with a view to possibly supporting him. But then on the state level, you're saying that he's attacking you. I mean, it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, does it?
It's one of the craziest political...
And you're APC
Absolutely.
On the state level.
So it's one of the craziest political scenarios that we've ever seen. And so the first aspect of it is I've never seen anti-party activity the way I've seen PDP in Rivers State play. So we had the G5. The G5 was playing all sorts of anti-party politics. Today, the G5 is broken down to a G1. So the only person in the G5 who is surviving today is Wike. Makinde has gone back to PDP. Benue has gone to Obi. I think 3 of them have gone back to Obi. And Wike is now romancing, trying to join the APC. And we've said to him, don't come into the APC through the window. If you want to join the APC, come in, make your declaration, say you want to come into the APC, and we will more than welcome you. But this backdoor through the window approach, where it's a small world, we've heard from the local government chairman that they've gotten instructions that they should vote for the APC presidential candidate, but that they should not vote for the APC gubernatorial candidate. That's ridiculous. You can't do that. So for us, we're going to take this all the way to the election. We know they are afraid. We know that we have got them by the back ropes, and that's where the danger is. So because they're the back ropes now, they're reeling by what we are putting through. They don't understand the strategy that we have brought through. There are 3 strategies they started with. Judicial, they decided, first of all, that they were going to get us out of the ballot by the courts. That has failed woefully and miserably. The second is the monetary one, that they were going to use money to buy everything. CBN has come up with this policy, which I'm sure we're going to talk about, which is directly affecting Rivers State politics. And the last one is violence, and violence will fail. They will fail woefully on the violence.
Well, since we've been talking about, I mean, we'll talk about naira redesign in a minute, but we're talking about violence, and insecurity has been a problem in Rivers State, not just now, but it's been that for many, many years, every time elections come around. What are you going to do about insecurity if you became governor? Because, I mean, as I said, your state has been torn apart by absolutely brutal violence.
Okay. And so the first aspect of it is, why has the violence persisted in the first instance? And that's because there has never been an election in Rivers State. Violence was always used to snatch ballot boxes, write the results, and declare results for who has the strongest arms and strongest force. If there is one thing that INEC has gotten right, which is to the benefit of Rivers State, is the beavers. It's something that we love, it's something that we appreciate, and for the first time, we have gone from ward to ward, unit to unit, and we've seen the grassroots say that they want to come out, they want to vote. So that aspect of it, PDP they've never campaigned at the grassroots, never. All they did was use the violence to take it. So for us, we've seen that we can get the PDP, we can get APC, we can get SDP, we can get everybody to vote for us, because what they want to see now is the ability to vote. Now that brings a difference. The hunger for them to want to come and vote means that we must be able to secure them. To secure them, we have two strategies to secure. First, you have the formal security, which basically are the police, the army, and all of that. And they have to see that their lives are in danger in this particular place. They must protect the lives of the average citizen that wants to come out. So that's the one. The second one is that the people themselves, for a long time, Charles, the people who were used to create violence were my people from the riverine communities. I have been to each one of them, those who they were perpetrators of this violence. And I've said to them, this time around, you have an injunction that is coming out. They've used us to kill ourselves. We spilled blood within our area. The worst thing you can do is fight a war in your own backyard. Nobody should lift arms this time around. And thankfully, the Ijaw ex-militants and the ones they used to use have aligned behind me.
I saw the pictures with Asari Dokubo and all the rest of them.
They've aligned and they've said that they are not going to spill their blood for anyone. And so we have taken the soldiers that they used to use, the informal soldiers, out of the picture. Now, who are they going to use? Are they going to import soldiers? They've been importing guns into the area. But we're going, violence, it's not going to work. Charles, we're very serious this time.
Well, we have to hope that things don't go any worse than they are at the moment. But let's talk about the other big issue, which is naira redesign. Well, where do you stand on that issue, which appears to also be tearing your party, the APC, apart?
So it's a twofold thing. The first aspect of it is there's no denying that naira policy is affecting people, the general public. It's affecting them. You can see the pain. You can see a little girl called me from Okrika who sells food, and she called me just while I was waiting for this interview, saying that she has not seen the new naira note. She's never seen it. Her food that she sells for 100 naira, 500 naira, 300 naira, she stopped selling because. And I said, "Don't you have a bank account?" And I said, "Nobody pays 300 naira and all of that into a bank account." So when you bring it to that level, you see people are suffering. So there's that aspect of it. But then you look at the bigger picture, and you also know that at the bigger picture, what we're now dealing with are the votes that people used to buy. This election was about buying votes. And you see that what they would do is that they would have bought this election, and what would have happened was these same people who are suffering now would have suffered for another 4 years. So when you're weighing it, what's the issue? Do we allow the continual buying of election for the longer term suffering of people? So there must be a give. On the one hand, I personally, in Rivers State, I know that this policy has been a major advantage for us because one of the strategies that the PDP was going to use was to buy the votes. Now they are struggling with money. They are really struggling with money. They can't buy the votes. So that's helpful. It's 3 weeks. And what I would say to people is we need to endure this. We have to find a way to get monies to the poor, to the lower class for 3 weeks. Let's endure that. But the long-term benefit, and Nigerians have to understand, I mean, politics, I see it. The money, beavers can only be bypassed by vote buying. And if we allow the money to come out the way they want it to come out, we're in trouble. Because what would happen is that we'll just sell the votes again. And another 4 years down the line. I believe that Rivers State, where I come from, is better off with this policy because PDP cannot win if they don't have
Well, it's very interesting that you say that because you're from the APC.
Yes.
And many in fact, the APC governors have taken the central bank and the federal government to court over this issue.
Including some PDP governors as well.
Because they want the thing to be reversed. But we've got about a minute or so, a minute and a half to end this conversation. Make your pitch about why the people of Rivers State should vote you in as their governor.
Charles, thank you very much. Now I'm going to speak to the people of Rivers State, and I'm speaking to you regardless of party. For the first time in the history of Rivers State, you will vote. And for the first time in the history of Rivers State, your vote will count. So now I'm calling on you, whether you're APC, PDP, SDP, AA, Accord, whatever party, just drop your party for the first time and vote. And who do I want you to vote for? I need you to vote for me. Why must you vote for me? Because I am the one that will represent your interests. This is about you. It's about a government where you will make your stand, where you will make your pitch, and you know that I am for you and you are for me. So together we will form a government that will pay you. We will protect you, protect your lives, and we will make sure that we send a loud statement that no longer are we going to allow violence to rule us, no longer are we going to allow people to steal our votes. We're not going to allow it. This time around, you will vote, your vote will count, and you will move all of these people out of power so that power will return back to your hands. That's what this is about.
And does it matter to the people that you are from the APC, which many Nigerians associate with 8 years of hardship and a lack of empathy?
You know, the beautiful thing about this election is that people have begun to look at the individual more than the party. And this is a difference. You know, Charles, floods are coming again. Floods are coming. And if those floods come, we will suffer for it. So people are looking and sitting down and saying, who can address this issue? They know I will address the issue, and they know it's not about APC, it's not about PDP. It's, can we find somebody who has empathy, who connects with us? I have been to villages, I've been inside their homes, I've sat down with them, and I know their pain point. And the thing is that they can touch me. My candidate, Sim, my opponent, Sim, has never, he doesn't come out. People, I don't know if he has ever come for an Arise interview.
Well, I certainly haven't interviewed him.
Can you please invite him out and ask him to come for an interview?
Well, he has a right to reply in any case.
Oh, please reply.
And the PDP does on the things that you've said about them.
Absolutely. So what I would like to do is I would like to invite Sam for a one-on-one, myself, you and him, before our election, and let the people feel him, touch him and hear him out. This is not a third term of Wike. It's about Sam and I sitting down and discussing. It's not going to happen. He doesn't come out. So the people don't know who they want to vote for. But they feel me, they touch me, they know me, and that's the difference. So it's no longer about the party, it's about the individual, and that's what's going to make the difference this time around.
Well, Tonye, we wish you all the very best. Tonye Cole is the APC governorship candidate for Rivers State, and he's talking to me here in Abuja. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Charles. Always a pleasure.